Hello everyone, how are you? I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Monday. Happy 12/12 portal. It was a huge upgrade, I have to say. So I wanted to come on and do an Ascension update. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I'll post this. One of my platforms was giving me a hard time about what I was posting. So make sure you're following Telegram, which is Holistic Living Practice 1. So make sure you're following Telegram, because I will post, if these platforms are going to keep giving me a hard time, I'm just going to post on there. So make sure you follow that. If you don't have Telegram, you can sign up for my newsletter too, and I'll try to send it out that way as well. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing with the energy? Oh my gosh, the energy is so intense. Energy, the Ascension upgrades are crazy. People I know are having a little bit of a hard time. I'm no different. I feel it all up here. So I don't know how everyone else is feeling, but I did do the energy blog. So if you go on the website, holisticlivingpractice.com, under the learning library, you'll see the energy of the week. Anyone can go on and read it, and it talks about symptoms. So you could feel it all over the place, but you may definitely feel it in the upper chakras. So how's everyone doing? I wanted to just come on and answer a couple of questions, and I wanted to also do maybe a few collective cards, so I wanted to answer one of the questions too that I had in my stories. So I had asked what anyone wanted to know, what you were curious about, what I could do videos on or readings on for you. One that I did get was about spirituality versus religion, kind of a thing, and kind of how do you discern the difference. Religion was created. So all religions were manufactured and created, and it kind of, the biggest point of it, I guess the best way to describe it, the biggest point is, for religion, it kind of teaches you that the power is outside of you. It teaches you that, you need to go elsewhere in order to make things happen. You need to go to this person or to this in order to have that strength and power. And that's just not true. And on the other hand, you have this spirituality, and the spiritual side of it is more, you have the inner power. So you have the source light. So source light is God, is whatever God you want to call it. It's God. It's the creator of all that exists, right? Hello. So that's the difference, is that, religion kind of talks about it more of, it's, either you have to follow this person and everything they say, or this person says you have to go to these people in order to get here or do this. And that's just not the case. Spirituality is just about each individual person. It's about your sovereignty. It's about the fact that you hold that inner power and strength, you as an individual and all of us as a collective. So I hope that kind of helps answer the question. So for example, like Christianity and some others too, they have the right idea, but it's been so manipulated over time for power and control, over the years, that they kind of left some things out intentionally, or they still make you think that you have to go to this person or go to this place or do this, and it's good to have a community. It's good to find somewhere where you can all go and spend time together as a community, and as people. But your strength and your power are still on an individual level. You don't need to go anywhere to access that. So I hope that answers that question. I don't know if anyone else has any other questions on it, if you want to ask, or if you have any other questions about anything going on. So the 12/12 portal yesterday was super, super powerful, very intense. It shifted a lot. The energy here is so different and so intense and so strong that you're going to feel it physically somehow. And I don't mean, get horribly sick over something, because that's not generally related, but you will feel it and it will shift you physically. So if there's something that's not in alignment physically, it's going to be shown now. If there's something that's not in alignment emotionally, it's going to come up and you're going to get triggered. So because the light is coming in so strong, It's shining a light on anything within or around that's not of that light. So it's kind of casting a light on the shadow, if you will, and forcing you to face it. So whether that's, like I said, something emotional, whether that's a situation, whether that's related to a relationship of any kind, whether that's related to childhood, whether, that's related to a career, whatever that is, it's going to shine a light on it. So you can't avoid it anymore. And some people are just really still coming in as the runners, trying to run. And, as that may have worked before, it's not going to work now. So really just be mindful of that. And if you're feeling triggered, it's for you to figure out what you need to do differently in order to move forward and ascend higher. Because once you acknowledge the triggers and make a change within you, then that shifts. So I hope that also makes sense. Different people were saying about specific ascension symptoms too this week. If you go on and look at the blog, I list them there. But yes, head dizziness, random waves of, just feeling off or not, nausea, being very tired, waking up a lot, flu-like symptoms, sinus symptoms, all of that is a part of it. So I feel those of the highest vibration are getting it hit the hardest right now because we're the ones holding down the light. So if you're one of those people, if if you're a light worker and and if you're watching this, then you definitely chose to be a part of New Earth in your own way. So that means that we're kind of getting hit the hardest. So you may feel it the most because we're getting the highest upgrades. Some people are still struggling within the lower vibrations, so they're being triggered and their soul is kind of forcing them to, but it's just much slower for them. So with everyone else, it's very escalated. It's very intense. It's very fast. So I just wanted to mention that because some people were, I think, getting a little nervous that they were sick or something was seriously wrong. So I wanted to say that by all means, if you're having a recurring issue, please go see a physician. But, or if it's something where you can do herbs, something like that, you can find a naturopath. But really, a lot of it is Ascension right now. So it depends on the person and everyone's very different, but yes. So as far as world events go, lots of world events. I don't know. So if you're not following my Telegram, please, please, please do. Holistic Living Practice 1, because I do post things on there that I see as being, being relevant. So I guess for this group, we need to get grounded. So whoever's watching this, probably stay grounded because it's going to help you adjust more with the energy. It's going to help you with the physical upgrades. It's going to help you with all the shifts around us right now. All the systems are shifting. They're already kind of crumbled. Some are completely leveled. Some are in the process. And some are just, they have new ones waiting to kind of step in. So you may see, like I did say on the weekly blog, you may see some disruptions this week. I do see some kind of communications or some issues on and off throughout the week. So whether it's just like a day or a few hours or, little bits here and there, I see that as being all a part of the shifting. So make sure you cloak yourself in light. Do the white light exercise. I am doing a meditation class and the readings and kind of guiding on how to communicate with your guides. So that'll be the last week in December. So the email will go out either tonight or tomorrow. And it's kind of first come, first serve. So if you're interested, please respond to the email and then follow the links. But the white light exercise is something we go over in the class. So, and I think I mentioned it too here on one of the videos. If you want to go back and look, it might have been from the 11/11 video. Very important. An aura cleanse. So salt baths, salt scrubs, feet in salt water, something. So I feel like people need to clear. There's energy. There's, especially people on, I feel like, listening now. There's some of you, like I feel a heavy chest. So some of you, it's either someone around you, whether it's like a husband or a family member or someone you see every day or like a work thing. But it's like, oh, I can't breathe. So make sure you're really clearing your energy. Call in on your healing guides because a lot of us, a lot of people of the collective are still going through that. So those of us who kind of on the first wave have done a lot of that already, but we still have to stay on top of ourselves as far as healing and, you know, triggers, and keep being mindful. And then it just kind of becomes natural, where you don't have to constantly work at it. It's just like a natural response. So you'll get there if you're not there yet. You just have to keep practicing it every day, every day. Every conversation, every approach, everything has to be of a higher vibration. It cannot be out of fear. It cannot be out of anger. It cannot be out of anxiety or an overreaction. It has to be from a higher vibration. So just be very, very mindful of that. Some people just taking walks will help. Walks by yourself, yoga, tai chi, qigong, things to move your energy around that aren't so, like, I don't see crazy exercises being needed. It's just something as simple as walking to move your energy. In the dream state, this came up too, something similar to this morning. So a lot of you are having interrupted dreams, or like interrupted sleep, and your dreams are specific, or you think they're very odd. Write them down, because you can either write them down and look up the meaning. And some of you, they're saying you're having there's animals coming to you, so look up the meaning of the animal. Fake it till you make it. That just kind of means starting to get yourself in that by using the visualization techniques, and starting to get yourself in that mindset, and in that place of you already have something and you're grateful for it, and you know, the feeling that comes with it. So I hope that makes sense too. And then we'll look at the energy. So I don't know if anyone has any questions yet. Hello to everyone joining. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, there's some anxiety. Because like I said, I feel it in my chest, like I can't breathe. So it's really important. I know we all have this, where we get waves of, you know, like either something triggers you, or like waves of, oh my gosh, like stressed about something. So it's just being mindful of that and knowing how to work around it, how to respond to it, what you need to do differently. Like for me, that just means spending more time by myself personally. So that's what that means for me. So the envy card came in with this one. So I feel that some relationships are dealing with, I don't want to say jealousy because I don't like that word, but I feel that some relationships are dealing with an imbalance where someone is being triggered, and they're coming from the victim, you know, like victim consciousness, and the other partner is triggering them. So it's be mindful of that and address that, communicate that if you have to. Soul contracts are ending, so karma's balancing out, especially being, you know, the end of the year, the cycle's ending, and with the 11-12, it's, you know, new beginnings have started. So you're going to see some people just drop out. You're going to see people maybe exit out altogether. That's on them. But dropping out of your life, or they may step back and then, you know, come back in at a higher vibration. But let everything flow the way it needs to flow, because I feel like it's happening for a reason. But I don't think, I get the happy family card, so I don't know if people are worried about their kids, but I don't see that anyone needs to worry about their particular kids, but I do think that children in general need to be protected right now. That's for sure. So make sure you call in an Archangel Michael to help you shield, ground, protect. Call him in on him for your kids also if you need to. Let me just read some. Thank you for these updates. You're welcome. You had mentioned you felt there was going to be something that was going to come out of left field. With current events, do you feel that happen or will still happen? Oh, I feel like it's still happen. There may be I think there's a lot that has happened already this month, but we're just not aware of all of it. I do see certain things seeping out, like you're seeing the MSM fall now, which we knew, I kind of saw that back in the summer, that it was officially 50-50 and you were going to start to see it bit by bit, but now you're just seeing it crumble, I feel. But I feel there's still something coming that's going to be fairly obvious to even the sleepers. So I hope that answers your question. So third chakra, I feel, because like my stomach hurts now, so I feel everyone has to stay in their power, but I do feel like there may be a situation you're going to need to stand firm on. Whether that's like a relationship dynamic or something. I feel like there's some kind of personal thing that you have to make sure you're standing in your power, because when you don't and you hand over your power, then you show the universe then that you haven't learned the lesson, and then it circles back around to you, which we don't want. Thank you. You're welcome. And then I just got this all tied up, but this way, which means that everything is shifting. There's, chains that have been broken. I feel where some people feel they've been stuck. That's what's going to shift this month too, because we're only, not even 2 weeks in. So I do still see a lot of that coming. I feel by the end of December, there's going to be something else that pops in. A lot of you are walking away from things that don't align, which is important, because when you stay around someone or something that's not aligned with your frequency, you can't continue. You can't ascend. It's part of a soul lesson for you. So if you stay in a situation or don't put up a boundary within a situation, so, maybe just a little distance is needed, then you're just going to have the reoccurring lesson, but it's going to get more intense each time it circles around to you, which just means it's more and more difficult. So let's see for this week what we all need to know. Yeah. Ooh, this envy card came in again. So someone must be struggling. I feel like someone's struggling. I feel like this is within like a dynamic, like a particular dynamic, where in your life there's someone who's trying to pull from your light. There's an envy there with you, and you have to really put up a boundary there, because this is like the third time I've seen this card today. So with the collective, so it must mean something. The waiting game. So this is just, to me, this says that the timeline we're in is destined. It's fated. Nothing will change it. We are ascending and nothing's stopping it. But it's hard to pinpoint a certain day for a certain thing. It's almost impossible to say that this is for sure going to happen tomorrow, no matter what. Sometimes it's kind of hard to say that in what we're talking about now. But this still says that it's happening regardless. So it's just a matter of exactly when. So you kind of have to shift your perception of it a little bit. But because it's bringing in the transformation, and you need to use wisdom, you have to use discernment. So continue to stay with your light. The sun came up today too a couple times. Make sure you're reading or doing some kind of education for yourself. And dogs are meaningful, maybe particularly a white dog to somebody. I feel like a lot of you have dogs in spirit that hang around, because I keep seeing a couple dogs just kind of hanging out by people. So I don't know if that's something specific for someone on here right now also, because they keep showing me. And some of you, I feel like, are either dealing with some type of a loss, or you're having a hard time with the shift. So when that happens, of course it depends on the situation. But when that happens, you have to just look at what was it meant for? Is it something you need to do differently? Was it something for your growth? How can you approach it? How can you handle it? There's always ways that we can go about things. And there's always something to learn. So, So this shows me that some of you need to step back. Some of you may be over emotional, and you need to take a step back and look at things from a heightened perspective. So for me, for example, with everything I tap into and everything that I read and everyone that I read, I have to have my personal emotions out of the way. I cannot let my thoughts, my emotions step into a reading because I am a direct channel, a direct conduit for source. So you can look at it the same way, just a little bit differently, but you can look at it as I need to get my personal emotions out of the way and look at things from a heightened perspective and think, okay, think from just a different place, because I think some people are still reacting from a very over emotional place or a little bit of a wounded place. And that just means there's something within you that still needs to heal, that still needs to be addressed and adjusted. Because that's what I'm getting with that. So some of you either need to spend time with water, because the water signs are about emotions. So salt baths, if you have water by you, spending time in the water. I know it's cold in a lot of places, but whatever you have to do. Because I'm getting that some people need to use water. It's interesting. I feel that a lot of you are starting to connect with what you love. You're starting to be drawn or do things, even if it's just little things throughout the day that, that you find interesting or that you love or that you think you want to pursue. So keep doing that. Don't let anything stop you. You're kind of moving on from everything that doesn't align. And some of you are having throat chakra purges. So, which means the throat chakra is like your Akashic. So you're still, Akashic records is the book of records that your soul, has every soul life that you've lived here. And it's kind of like all within your soul's field. So it like when I tap into an Akashic record for someone, it allows me to see what past lives they're still struggling with, still trying to heal from, because this came in with the healing. So Akashic and healing. So I feel that throat chakra 2 is just speaking your truth, which includes boundaries, and respectfully. But I do feel too that there's still some healing going on for people, which is fine. Everyone moves at their own pace, but make sure you fully just address it, work through it, make changes, do whatever you need to do before you move on. So I hope that answers people's questions, and I'll post this too so people can read it. But, as far as everything going on right now, I feel the most important thing, the best thing for everyone to do is stay in their power. Do not waver. Keep doing the visualization techniques. Do not let anyone push you in a direction you don't want to go, because that's just handing over your power, no matter what that is, whether it's family, work, whatever it is, and whatever it's for. And we're talking about everything. So I feel that a lot of these narratives are falling apart. They're like disintegrating, like they show me crumbling right in front of our eyes. It's fairly obvious. I mean, I've seen it for a while. You've seen it for a while, but it's fairly obvious now to even the ones who are sleeping still, or the ones who are sleeping still, their souls are forcing them to face their shadow. So they are pushing them and pinning them up kind of against the wall, forcing them to look at it. So they won't be able to stay fully asleep. What will happen for some of the collective is they will awaken so abruptly that they are going to fight. They will be awake and aware, but they will fight it. They will put their arm up. They won't want to look at it. So they may stay, if they decide to stay here. It may take them a certain amount of time, and they may need a lot of help, psychological help, just someone to help guide them through it, because they won't want to see it. They're going to be very upset that they've been played, I guess is the best way to put it. They're going to be very upset that what they thought, how the world is, how all the systems function, and how they thought everything existed is not at all really what has been going on. A lot of people are going to have a hard time with that. For probably anyone watching this, you've slowly probably come to your awakening in this area and then this area, whether it's medicine first and then education first and then this and then this. So, and some of you, maybe you had a quick, not harsher awakening, but a faster awakening. Some of you may have come in fully awake. Everyone's in a different place, but our souls and where we're going, our consciousness is not going to allow us to remain in the 3D anymore. So this physical space is not going to, sustain itself in that energy. It's already above the energy, which means, like I've said, anything then that's below where Mother Earth is right now is not aligning and cannot stay. So you either have to awaken and ascend, or whatever doesn't ascend is going to fall off. So whether that's systems, people, ways of life, any of that, it's just going to kind of fall off, but there's going to be new. So we're not doomed. So anyone that's telling you doom and gloom, I suggest following your own intuition on it. And if you feel like you're not resonating with the doom and gloom and the fear, mongering, step away from it for a little bit. It could be the source. Some people are doing their best and they really believe and they really think that they're helping people. But in reality, it's kind of having the opposite effect because people don't need that right now. So a lot of people are fully aware of potentials, but they're choosing to see the light. So they need someone to guide them into the light, through the light, so that they can figure it out from there. And that's what I'm trying to do to help. So I hope that everyone finds this helpful. And I would just suggest to use your discernment when you listen to certain things. Anyone that's pushing doom and gloom, it's just not the case. That's not the timeline we're on. That's not where we're going. If it were, none of us would be here. The majority of us wouldn't even be here anymore. So keep that in mind and keep reminding yourself of that even when you're having hard days, because this isn't easy. This is a very psychological, spiritual, mental battle. So anyone listening to this and aware of it, good for you. Pat yourself on the back because, you're one of the soldiers. So hang in there. Hang in there. Keep your energy clear. Hang on to, really step in your power, stand and plant yourself in the light. So I feel that all of you, some of you, maybe your intuitive side may start to jump up a little bit. So if you need help with that, feel free to book a reading. And I may be doing classes on that. That's part of what my classes will be going forward. Will be a guided meditation, mini readings, but then also I'm going to be doing kind of intuitive classes on how to help, yourself kind of open up your third eye and any of that. So if anyone is interested in any of that, just pay attention to emails, and you can sign up on the email. If you go to holisticlivingpractice.com, the homepage, and scroll to the bottom where it says stay in touch, just enter your name and email, and then you'll be on the list. So it was good to see everyone. I hope this answered some questions. I have a really, really busy week, but I'll try to jump back on for a few minutes in a couple days to address a couple other of the topics that people had asked about. So as always, I'm sending so much love and light, and I will see you all soon.